I made it pretty far, all things considered. Thanks for your applause. Still every time I close the door and another won't open, I get this panic that my life is now on pause. The dark gets cleared, the board's been cleaned, there's nothing left on my screen. The plate is empty, so it seems. Now is the time to ask, okay, what's next? This was fun while it lasted, nothing comes till you ask it. So I'd really like to know what's next. Around the corner, down the street, whatever's meant for me to meet, I'm waiting for it anxiously, so tell me please, what's next? Daunting, thanks I know, silently it's haunting me and I'd like it to go. See, I could be 103 and still moving slow, full of promise and potential till my eyes finally close. But I got time, got years and years, work to do, but I got fears, and there's a ringing in my ears, so still I gotta ask, okay, what's next? This was fun while it lasted, nothing comes till you ask it, so I'd really like to know what's next. Around the corner, down the street, whatever's meant for me to meet, I'm waiting for it anxiously, so tell me please, what's next?
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you may be on this awakening, transformative, chaotic, uncertain, amazing, inspirational world of ours. This is Metaphysical Meetup with Marc. I'm your host, Marc Lainhart, the Intuitive Prospector, challenging you to go out and prospect and explore as we're all prospecting for the diamonds within us and the many gems all around us. So we're a little late this morning. I do apologize. We had to do some logistical updates for Zoom. You don't realize when you do a lot of your own work that there's a lot of logistical stuff that has to take place, and you have to do updates. And for example, like Twitter is no longer Twitter, it's X. So you have to put X parentheses Twitter so people know on the social media feed. But we're here on Friday now. Welcome. For those of you that are coming back, thank you for joining me on Fridays. Hopefully my administrators and my moderators will also be joining us. I don't know. The kind of a little bit of a backstory for why we changed the days. Let me just make sure that we're broadcasting okay here. Bear with me. Facebook, where are you, Facebook? Deny, discard. All right. Get over to the Intuitive Prospector page. So we're a little late this morning because, like I said, there was a lot of logistical stuff that I had to update that I didn't think about. There's always lots of moving parts when you run your own business. When you're doing a lot of the technology like I do my own web design, my own technology. So we're just getting over the Intuitive Prospector page. Good morning to my Star Senders, my subscribers, my Patreon prospectors, my Diamonds Hub subscribers here on Facebook. Okay, so there we are. There's the page. Okay, so I can see everything. Okay, perfect. So let's come back over to the Zoom platform so I can have them both up. So a little bit of a change, kind of just a backstory for you is we had to change from Monday. So if you followed my work for the last few years, you should be familiar with Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. That's when I would come on and give messages and do readings and pay it forward and be in service and just help others. Just try to set the week with inspiration, encouragement, motivation, thinking outside the box, little things, mantras, just to help you on your journey. And I had to go back to full time. Not that I wanted to, I was mandated to. So I've been with the federal government for over 20 years now, actually, with my 8 years in the Coast Guard. And out of the blue, they said that they needed a change in the business model, and they needed me to come back. So I guess it's nice to be wanted for your skill set to come back, but didn't really plan for it, right? And that's kind of like what life is. Life doesn't always give us, we can plan and do our best for life, but life, it doesn't always correspond to what we want, right? So I had to readjust. I had to make some switches because my schedule now, I work on Mondays and I have Fridays off. So I work a 4-10 now. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which is fine. I just have to, I had to shift. I had to be flexible. And that's another thing that life teaches us. It teaches us to be flexible, to be like bamboo, to bend like bamboo, but not break and like, okay, this is the end of my show. And I had a good run with Metaphysical Mocha Monday. I really enjoyed it on Monday mornings, 8 a.m., sometimes not so much, but I really enjoyed connecting with people, helping people, inspiring people. That's who I am. That's what I do. And a big part of this journey is to know thyself. And, I can say that because here's Know Myself by the Mayor. This one is this is the Myers-Briggs type indicator, and I'm actually known as an ENFP. And we just did this in my spiritual development group, and I've changed a little bit. I think I'm a little bit more judgmental now when I started this, but the actual definition of who I am is an inspirer. And so that's why, a few years ago, I started Metaphysical Mocha Monday, was to inspire people, to help people, to think outside the box, like I said, encouragement, motivations. And of course, when you're on social media, either here on Facebook or my YouTube channel, Soul Adventures, you're going to get some, just some ignorance. You're going to get some people that just, are maybe hurting or just don't understand you or disagree with you. And so they find social media. So we really try to keep this show, this community page, free from any spam, free from any bots, any clickbaiters. If you do come into this page, this community, and you're asking people for, giving them a free reading or just, lack of professionalism or lack of morals and ethics, it's like a spam call on your cell phone, right? So just, if anybody is watching today, and I think there's a few of you on, and so good morning to you. Please, if you get asked to go to a page, please don't do that. We don't reach out to people to give you a reading. You come to the community and then we go from there. So if you get any kind of spam, any kind of clickbaits, or just people that it just doesn't feel right, click those three little ellipsis dots in the right-hand corner. If you click on that, you can actually report them and ban them. And then I'll go back. And if I have my moderators are back, I'm not sure if they're on or not. I'll check here in a sec. They have access to my business page, the Intuitive Prospector, and they can also moderate comments and report and block and take that crap out of there. So we're definitely gonna be focused in on that on Fridays. So I had to make that readjustment, and I thought, okay, what's a new way? And I'll get, this will tie into the message of today's message for you. So we went from Metaphysical Mocha Mondays for a few years, because that's the time slot that I had, and it just felt like a good time and energy to help people. And I was like, okay, I have Fridays off, so how can I still be in service? How can I still inspire? How can I help? And a big part of who I am. Okay, let's shift to Fridays. I'm like, okay, so what are we going to call it? Because I did like the name. People asked me, there was a lot of people that were sending me emails and love and support, and thank you for that. Honestly, thank you for that. I appreciate you and asking, like, hey, are you doing Metaphysical Mocha Monday anymore? Are you coming back on? And I said, yeah, I had to take pretty much July and August off to readjust and redo things and logistically, and what updates the websites and stuff like that, social media, Zoom. And so I came up when I was just, I sat in a meditation, and sometimes your most creative flow can happen in the space between your breath and your exhalation. So you take that breath in, and right in that pause, sometimes you can get the greatest creative information, downloads, and then you exhale. And I sit and I meditate. I sit right here in the mornings and I meditate and just kind of set my intent for the day. And as I was receiving this information, the name changed from Metaphysical Mocha Mondays to Metaphysical Meetup with Marc. And it's on Fridays. It's a little bit later in the day, so I can still reach my friends and colleagues across the pond over in England, because I have some followers over in England, and that just bumped them to the evening time. And for people across the United States, a little bit more in the brunch hour to the early afternoon. And it's Friday. So, Friday is just a much more, maybe you've worked all week like I have, and you're just ready for the weekend, right? So I'm like, oh, why don't I create a space on Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and call it Metaphysical Meetup with Marc. So we're going to still meet up. We're going to still talk metaphysics. We're going to talk spiritual. We're going to talk enlightenment. We're going to talk about healing. We're going to talk transformations. But I also changed my model to where I'm not doing as much free readings anymore. And I'll still do that. But you'll notice in the comment section, so if you click on the comment sections of this video, that's part of the update that I had to make, was I'm going to be doing more subscription services. And what I mean by that is there's links in there for my Patreon Prospectors community. That's a monthly membership to where you can pick the gem of how much interaction you want with me. For example, I just offered my Patreon Prospectors on Wednesday a free readings and access to my development group, where I have some amazing colleagues and students that have been with me for many years, practicing the psychic sciences, practicing the intuition, practicing the mediumship, practicing the healing. And they actually got access to come in and get a few readings, and a few of you did take advantage of that. So thank you for coming in. But when you're part of the Patreon Prospector, that link is in the description. You can choose what kind of interaction you want with me on a membership basis monthly. Now, the next one is my Facebook community here. And that Facebook community is what I call the Diamonds Hub. And that link is also in the description. And if you go to my Intuitive Prospector page, if you're following the page, you'll look up in the corner, on the left-hand corner, it says Subscribers Hub. That is $4.99 a month. That's less literally than a cup of coffee. And inside that community, inside the Diamonds Hub, I will be doing more interactions, readings, meditations, workshops, and it won't be so much out on the Facebook public forum. So that's two ways to get more free readings: a monthly reading, numerology, mediumship, psychic, is to go into the Patreon Prospectors, the Diamonds Hub here on Facebook. And then I put a few other links as well. If you're interested, you can follow me over on Insight Timer, where I have meditations, I have Soundbaths. You can follow me on my Learn It Live, where I teach classes. That's through Soul Adventures. All these links are now on the new Zoom platform that we had to update. And then, of course, I now have the Intuitive Prospector store. So I've created a store to where you can get things that I make right out of my garden, Lavender Love, that's sold locally here in West Seattle. You can get my new book. It's a best-selling on Amazon, called Between Worlds Reflections, where I reflect about my journey and my experiences, if you will. So that's at the new Intuitive Prospector store. So you can click on any of those links. And then I've got a new quote for you that I wanted to read to you, that, through my meditation, and I put this in, I did put this in the video, and it says this: a new day, a new opportunity, a day we have not seen before, to use our intuition to prospect this wonderful world around us. So that was a new quote that presented itself as of late. So I see a few of you on. Good morning to my mom. Good morning to Denise. Good morning to Misty. So please, the algorithms have not changed to the page. So if you're still got a diamond and you're a top fan, I will still connect with you. If you're a star sender, I'll definitely connect with you. But really going to try to push people into my YouTube channel, where I'll be live, Patreon Prospectors, and Diamonds Hub here on Facebook, and then the other courses that I'll be doing. Or you can directly book with me through marklainhart.com, which is right there. So good to see you. Thanks for coming back. Again, new time, new format, new focus. And today's message, as we grab our cup of coffee, still got to have our coffee, even though Metaphysical Mocha Mondays is now a memory and a great experience in helping others. Now we're to Metaphysical Meetup with Marc, and we still have to have our coffee. That's very vital. That's very important. So go ahead and just take a deep breath as I get ready to give you our message for today, and then I may do some Q&A, since this is the first show back. But I'll try to be here on Fridays to be with you, to prospect with you, to answer. You can ask me, don't ask me, silly questions, or you can ask me questions. I'm very transparent. I'm very open. If I don't know it, I'll tell you I don't know it. But I've had a lot of experiences, and I guess that's the one thing that life has taught me. I don't really have a time frame where I'll start at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I really don't have a set time. It's just going to be one show now. There's no Q&A after show that I used to do with Metaphysical Mocha Mondays. That will all take place within the Patreon subscription hub and the Diamonds Hub, or over on my YouTube channel. So you got to get into those three to really get those extra detailed connections and readings that you might be looking for. And again, that can be psychic, that could be just guidance, that could be, we can do a healing for you, a distant healing, we can do mediumship, and really, try to connect with loved ones. Because I personally believe that death is not the end. Death is just a new experience, a new journey, if you will. And so make sure to share out, make sure to subscribe here on the main page, the Intuitive Prospect, because those algorithms are driven by Facebook. I'm on other social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok. If you want to follow me over there, just go. You can get all those links over at marklainhart.com right here. So, all right. So today's message, as we enjoy our Fridays, I call it, maybe I'll just start calling it Friday Focus, Friday Favorites. However, the energy is different than a Monday. Your week is over. You got through another week. So maybe, hopefully you don't have to work on the weekend. There's a lover boy working for, or is it you, Lewis, working for the weekend? Hopefully you don't have to work on the weekend. I'm always working. I usually work 7 days a week. Even on Sundays, I'm working if I'm doing a service or participating in something. Because that's just, life is short, right? So today's message is really something that I resonated with. I was sitting like, what am I going to talk about my first show back on Metaphysical Meetup with Marc on Fridays, and it's a Friday focus. It's a Friday favorite. So go ahead and put in the comments. This is an interactive community. And again, please be kind, caring, and compassionate. Don't try to sell us something. Don't try to promote yourself. If you do, you'll get blocked out. Once you're blocked out, you don't get to come back, even if you create a different account. So just don't do that. Be positive, be kind, be friendly, be neighborly, right? Just be neighborly. Just be a good human being. Go ahead and put in the comments what some of your favorite things that have happened this week. We're going to reflect back. So instead of setting the intention for the week, we're now shifted to Metaphysical Meetup with Marc to reflect back on our week. Maybe there were some experiences, maybe there were some messages, maybe there was some heartaches, maybe there was some joy, maybe there was something that, if you want to put that in, what you do is you join a community here and you put that intent into the comment section. You're actually expressing yourself through energy, through words, through typing. So go ahead and feel free to do that. I'll go back and read them afterwards. That's part of the new format, is Friday favorites. And we're going to Friday focus now on the message that I had to really readjust when I had to go back to full-time work. And go through some, just some very not pleasant experiences and misinformation. And, I can see why a lot of people don't like or trust the federal government after what I've gone through, but I get it. And sometimes you can't control the situations that are happening around you. All you can control is how you respond and what your character is. And so that's really the approach that I've taken. And I had to, restart. So today's message is reset, restart, refocus as many times as you need to, just don't quit. So let me say that again. Reset, restart, refocus as many times as you need to, just don't quit. That's the message that kept coming, because I was like, how am I going to readjust this? Because eventually I will retire from the federal government. I'm over 20 years now. And do this and do more writing, and my podcast is still going. It's now a voted best inspirational podcast to follow. You can get that. You can get everything right here, just so you know. And we'll be on the air this Wednesday. We're back for September. We're gonna have a special guest. She's gonna be a returning guest. A new book about sacred circles, and so it's going to be interesting. It's very tied to the indigenous cultures and the connection to Mother Earth and nature. So it's going to be a very fun, inspirational show. So I hope you'll join us. That podcast is every Wisdom Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific, and it is internet radio, so you can listen to our show from anywhere around the globe live. The links, everything is right here at Om Times. And if you can't catch the live podcast, we are now streaming through every major podcasting platform, from iTunes, YouTube, iHeart, Spotify, and we're now going through Audible. So you can actually, if you have an Alexa app at home, you can say, Alexa, open up Inspired Living Podcast. That'll play last episode that we did, which was a lot of fun. It was actually a book called Unfinished Business by Melanie Smith. Highly recommended. I'm going to be recommending books too, because I get a lot of books. I get about a book a week, a book every 2 weeks. And so this book was a great podcast, great lady. You may not recognize the name, but she's actually pretty well known in different communities. But we did this book called Unfinished Business, and I really enjoyed it. So that's the latest episode that you can stream through your Alexa. Just say, Alexa or your Echo Pod, open up Inspired Living Podcast, and that will play the latest podcast. And we have over 200 shows now. So we've been on the air for 8 seasons, and we'll be back for a 9th. I had plans to come back. Even with my full-time schedule, I may have to do recordings before the live show, some stuff like that. So again, reset, restart, refocus as many times as you need to. Just don't quit. Keep going. Stay the course. We were talking about this in group. I've seen a lot of people in the spiritual path. They start to have experiences, or they start to learn this new language, and they have to work through their learned behaviors, their past. Maybe they were raised like I was raised in religion. I had to readjust my religious views, my belief system, if you will, and start to interact with the things that some people may call heavenly and other people may call the devil, right? So, just a lot of growth and perspective, but don't quit, because I see people get up to a point of transformation or healing or letting go and being able to step into maybe who they are for the first time in their lives, or their authentic selves, or their higher selves, myself included. Everything that I'm telling y'all is stuff that I've gone through the last 5-6 years. And my spiritual path began back all the way in 2010 is when I first went down in 2010 and started to learn under the amazing Lisa Williams in Dallas, Texas. And that's where I had my first objective viewing of spirit with my own eyes. And from 2010 now, it's just been just gangbusters, going like crazy. And so keep going, don't quit, because I see people get up to this and then they take a step back. That could be fear, that could be self-sabotage, that could be lack of courage. And so we were talking in group on Wednesday, because I have an online spiritual development group that's not open to the public, but you can always, if you're interested, you can always visit us to see if you vibe with your tribe. But we were talking about how I've seen some people get right up to that point and go, nope, and step back and completely turn away from it. And that's okay, because that's based on free will. That's based on choice. And so it's just always a good reminder to reset, to restart, to refocus. And that's what I had to do. And I'm happy to be back with you on Fridays. Again, make sure to set that notification. We're going to be live on most Fridays, unless I'm traveling or I'm in the air. I have a lot of traveling coming up this fall, and including heading back to England in December. I'm returning to the Arthur Findlay College for SNUI, which is the Spiritual National Union International Members Week. And I'm also going to be studying with a new tutor on 21st century mediumship for healing. It's more of a healing modality, but it's nice to be returning to the college. So I'll be there in December, because I usually take the month of December off from all of my spiritual practice. And now I have approved leave for my daytime job to go. So I'll be over there the first part of December for about 10 to 12 days. And I'm excited to return to the college, because I haven't been to the college since 2018. I was there late 2018, that December of 2018, and then 2019 is when the shit really started to hit the fan. And by 2020, the globe was shut down from this global pandemic that we've all experienced in some way, somehow. And maybe unfortunately you've lost a family member or a friend. I lost a friend to COVID who was younger than me, so I definitely can relate to this global pandemic and transformation that we all went through. But again, it's about staying the course. It's about not giving up. And I've realized in my journey, and I've since the last time I was on, I've had some different experiences and some things that I've worked through, including working with my first experiences with plant medicine. You may notice the haircut's a little bit different. My hair is growing out long, but keeping it short around. A new tattoo. You may not. That's my true north. That's my latest tattoo. I've got a new tattoo coming in November here. So you're witnessing some of my own transformations and some of my connections to know thyself, the higher self. Just to be what it is to be human. But I've also learned, especially with my experiences now with plant medicine for healing, for PTSD, for anxiety, for depression. I've realized that, death itself, because I've been long fascinated with death ever since my brother's passed. Death teaches us a lot about our life. And what I mean by that, as I made some notes here, is, I believe that the afterlife, without a doubt, is here to help us to comfort our grief, our loss, and maybe help eliminate that fear of death. I just had a friend who, again, younger than me, pass over from lung cancer, never smoked a day in his life, or was very mindful of taking care of himself, and so that was tough. I had another friend that just passed in her sleep, and same age as me, and she just didn't wake up. So it's a reminder to carpe diem, to seize today, and to because there's no guarantees for tomorrow, right? Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. That's why we call it the present. But I can tell you that many times I've wanted to give up, to not do this work, not do the podcast, not do this show. And I'm just being very open and honest and transparent with you. Not in the way of not taking my own life. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there are just times I'm like, what is the point of all this? And when you've had a near-death experience like I've had, and you've had some of the experiences that I've gone through, what I call soul adventures, it changes who you are. It changes how you live your life, your relationships, how you see the world. And it's it's really about just the choice to keep going, to learn something new. And I just, you know, I've with my long fascination about death, because it's like, you know, it's like we know that death exists, but nobody knows what happens after death, right? There's stories, there's scriptures, there's religious doctrine that, you know, that gives an opinion about it. But until we experience something, and I was just talking with a friend about this, until we experience that with our own, we're really only entitled to other people's experiences based on our opinion or our judgments, or, oh, that's great. Like, you know, people for many years have called me many different things under the sun, because I personally believe in UFOs, extra dimensional beings, the universe. We're only seeing just a sliver. Plant medicine has opened my eyes and lifted a veil as well. And, you know, I've said, you know, for several years during our roaring 20s, we would realize that we're not alone in the universe. And there's just a lot of things that are happening. So, you know, it's just a reminder to stay the course, to not give up. You know, I've been fascinated with death for a long time. You know, with the passing of my brothers and my real father and my father-in-law. And it's just, you know, it's based on experiences, you know, researching. That's where I became the intuitive prospector, prospecting the afterlife, prospecting the spirit world, prospecting this world, the etheric world, which is the, you know, the spirit world is another term, is the etheric world. Some call it heaven, some call it the afterlife, Summerland. But it's really about, you know, just shifting your paradigm, experiences, and going through, you know, those soul adventures to have perspective. Not good, not bad. The soul responds to those experiences, is what I'm saying. And, you know, you have choices. You can either play the victim of it, or you can keep going and tell yourself, no, I'm not going to be a victim of it. I'm going to reset, restart, refocus as many times as I need to, and I'm not going to give up. I'm going to not quit, stay the course. So that's what I wanted to share with you this morning. Again, new time frame, new show, Metaphysical Meetup with Marc. I have to tell myself not Metaphysical Mocha Monday, and you know, just go from there. So I just want to give some shout outs to people real quick. So let me get over to the page so I can see you here and just give you a shout out. I'm not going to be doing any readings this morning. I just kind of wanted to set the intent, the energy, and start to build on that. So good morning to all of you. Let me turn the volume down. Let's see. All right. So let me just give some shout outs to people. I did get my card, Misty. My card, literally, this was my card today. Change your focus. Number 5, freedom, love, and adventure. Change your focus. And that's part of my message, refocus. So reset, restart, refocus. So thank you for that. Let me get to the comments here. Hi, Mary. Good to see you. Yeah, SRT session. Yep. Christina, thank you for your favorite thing. Adriana, good to see you. Odith, good morning. Mary Lou, Colleen, good morning. Tara Bryant, good morning. All right, so it looks like I've got a few of you on today. So again, just set a reminder, set your calendar to be here on Friday mornings, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for Metaphysical Meetup with Marc. In the link, in the video description, there are links. Make sure to get on my subscribers hub, my Diamonds hub on here on Facebook, $4.99. I will be heading over there to do some readings in the hub. Also, my YouTube channel, where I'll be live on different days and doing readings with followers of the page. I'm just under 500. I'm going to try to hopefully hit that 500 mark by the end of the year for subscribers. And then my Patreon, where it's pretty much a direct access to me for monthly readings. So that's how I'm going to be doing my readings moving forward, and my connections and my meditations and workshops and lectures and sound baths, all sorts of spiritual awesomeness. So I hope that you'll join me over on one of those. Again, if you want to be a subscriber here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You can get all the links at marclainhart.com. And then next Friday, I will start giving some shout outs and working with you and giving readings. And Lou just said I picked a card, community. Yep. And just setting the intent. Fridays, Friday favorites, Friday focus, Metaphysical Meetup with Marc on Fridays. So again, I apologize, I was a little bit late. I will be on time next week. I'm a little bit more prepared. Just had to change some of the logistics and some of the settings within Zoom to make sure I could go live here. So make sure to display your badge as well, because I'm going to be looking really, and moving forward, I'm going to be looking at the badges as well for, followers, top fans, star senders, all that. That's going to be very important now moving forward. Not as much free stuff, because I don't have as much free time as I used to working part-time now that I've gone back full-time starting back in August. And I'll talk more about, there'll be more about my book that I'll be talking about. I'll be talking more about the plant medicine, my experiences with plant medicine and some of those healing modalities. This book, Unfinished Business, will be making book references to people that have come on the podcast. So we've had some really great podcast episodes. And who knows, we'll see what else unfolds as we prospect together in this amazing world of ours. And again, I know there's a lot going on in the world. So again, just reset, restart, refocus, just don't quit, right? As many times as you need to, just keep going, because I do see the great coming together. If you follow my work, I've talked about aliens and extraterrestrial beings and some global events, Civil War, World War. That's going to happen in our world because the world's a vampire, but I also see a great transformation in this great coming together. So that's what I wanted to leave you with. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Put in your Friday favorites in the comments. Make sure to interact with the page. I'll get back later this afternoon and try to respond to all of you. And then next week, I'll do a little bit more interaction. I just kind of want to set the tone for today, the intent. And I look forward to prospecting with you here on Fridays for Metaphysical Meetup with Marc. Have a fabulous weekend. Don't forget to breathe, practice the pause, and I look forward to prospecting with you here in the month of September and as we finish out 2023. So have a great rest of your day and have a beautiful weekend. Take care. Namaste.